What's up, guys? This is episode 4. I am the American Latino, the internet's most based Latino. So, just got a couple topics today. We're going to go over. Give me a second while I get my notes, and we will begin. I'm going to let some people flood in here. Not really sure what the hell is up with this green screen. Like, it sucks. I'm still trying to figure it out. So somebody reported my channel, or I don't know what you call this thing, page, and I wasn't able to go live for, I think, 6 days, almost 7 days, almost a week. Not really sure. I gotta fix this mask. But we're gonna just touch on a few topics. I don't know what the hell is going on with this stupid green screen. This thing sucks. It never seems to work right. I wish there was a way to fix it. All right, so as you know from my previous lives, we're just going to talk about a couple different topics, and we'll go from there. So, what is going on with this green screen thing? Man, I got something special today, too. We'll touch upon it towards the end, but why is it doing that? Maybe if I hold it here. There we go. Maybe it's because it has to see my face. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. Keeps cutting in and out. Stupid piece of shit. Can you guys see that? Oh. If I get too close, it seems to screw up. I don't know why. Wow, a lot of people joining. Cool. Thanks for joining. It usually never, it says people join, but then it says they go away. It's it says they don't stay, at least for me. It shows you join and then you just disappear. All right, so what are we talking about first? Well, the biggest thing right now is the potential end of the war in Gaza. If you're unaware, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, if your head has been in the sand, or you're just not political, you're an idiot, because this is probably one of the most historic things that have happened in my lifetime. They've been trying to do this since before I was born. Yasser Arafat in the 70s. And many presidents have tried to get this done, a peace deal in the Middle East, primarily Israel and Gaza. And only one has been able to do it. That's right, only one. President Trump. Greatest president of my lifetime. So phase 1 is complete. And phase 1 basically just means the return of all of the hostages and a pulling back of the military zone to a specified point. So that specified point is just basically a demilitarized zone. Think of it like the demilitarized zone for between North and South Korea. Will that actually hold? Who knows? I mean, they say this war has been raging on for 3,000 years. I doubt one man is going to make it stop. Especially when you've got, the leader of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, saying, we don't care. We're basically still going to continue the eradication of the Palestinian people, even though there's no such thing as a Palestinian state. So, on that note, it is a good thing that all the hostages have been returned. Hamas did, in fact, return all of the hostages. And I put up a clip on my page of that. Nacho Libre. Yeah, that's a great movie. So somebody asked me that in the last live. Why are you wearing a luchador mask? And it's just basically a homage to the heritage, the lineage of the Latino. However, it's not, it's not something that I it's not something that I feel like I have to explain. The American flag, think about it. The topics that I talk about, I will eventually do a face reveal, but it's not going to happen until I'm at 100,000. I did say 1,000,000, but I think 1,000,000 is a little bit too far. 100,000 is fine. So back to topic. The hostages have been returned. Phase 2 begins, and that just means that they are going to hopefully get rid of all of the weapons. Now, that remains to be seen. So far, they are keeping their word. They are actually, the zone has been set up, so that's good. The killing has stopped, so that's good. The demilitarized area has been set up, but they have not. See, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how they're going to get rid of the weapons, but they want them to get rid of all of the weapons. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But that is a pretty historic thing. So if you are unaware, that is a huge thing. You should be following it. You should be learning about it. If you don't know about it, read up about it, learn about it. It's pretty important. So hopefully that stops the war over there. The war in Ukraine is still raging. That I don't see any good. Basically, what I see with that happening is Russia's going to take the land that it has already claimed. It's not going to give it back, and the U.S. is not going to give any more weapons that are going to do anything to continue the war. Thinking that we're going to give them Tomahawk missiles and that's somehow going to win the war for Ukraine, that's just not going to happen. So what I think President Trump's trying to do now is just kind of distance himself and distance the U.S. away from this ridiculousness that's continuing on, that is unfeasible, untenable, and they're just not going to win. So I think the next best thing is that he's going to try to broker a deal, and that deal is going to be something like, Russia's going to keep the parts that it has seized, and you're just going to have to eat it. And Ukraine's not going to join NATO. They're not going to be a NATO ally because that's probably going to be, one of the tenets of the deal. We'll see. That remains to be seen. So another thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys know, I mentioned this in one of my other lives, Nick Shirley. He's a young, on-the-ground reporter who has been going around the world, not just America, but the world, reporting on events and doing real, actual journalism. Well, him, Andy Ngo, and Cam Higbee, and a couple of other pretty famous, modern on-the-ground reporters, I guess you call them New Age reporters, were invited to the White House. And if you didn't see it, I think it's on Cam's channel. If not, I will put a link when I post this back up. I'll put a link on in the description so you can actually go see the video that I'm talking about. I still haven't figured out a way to get the video clips that I'm talking about to play in the background so you guys can see it. But I'll figure that out, hopefully. There's got to be a way. Every time I try to do this stupid green screen thing, it just doesn't let me do video, or I can't pull up video clips. I'll have to figure something out. I did set up StreamYard, and I did test stream to Rumble, and I'm trying to do the RMPT stream out to TikTok, but it's not letting me. I don't know if it's because I don't have enough followers or whatever. But we'll try to get that sorted. If not, I may have to move the live streams over to Rumble, and then I'll just post them here on TikTok in full. Although I do like the TikTok live platform better. So they were at the White House, and basically they were just giving their opinions, but they were also giving facts as to what is going on the ground in Portland and what is happening with Antifa. If you don't know, Antifa has been designated a domestic terrorist group. mask gets so annoying, it keeps shifting. They're designated a domestic terrorist group. Well, President Trump has actually gone ahead and designated them a foreign terrorist group. And what does that mean? It just means that now they can actually go after the money. So they can go after the money now, and George Soros better watch out, because the U.S. government's coming for him and all of the people that have been paying these people to show up. They show up with pallets of weapons. The same people show up in D.C., the same people show up in Portland, the same people show up in L.A., the same people show up in all these other places, these blue cities where these demonstrations, peaceful protests are happening. And there's pallets of weapons that are shipped there. Baseball bats with barbed wire, bear spray, 2x4s, you name it, it gets shipped there. And then all of a sudden, all these people now have weapons. So that's what they were describing. All of their incidents with Antifa. So now that they're designated a foreign terrorist organization, the U.S. can actually start doing things to put these fucking psychos away. It's primarily this campaign to destroy America from within by having this constant threat of terrorism from these moronic leftists. That's really what it is. And as soon as they stomp that out, there really is no more threat. It's just a matter of cleaning up crime, which they've shown in D.C. that's totally possible to do within a matter of weeks, not months, not years. It doesn't take an election cycle. It doesn't take new leadership. It simply takes people who are not spineless to go in and actually do the job that needs to be done. God bless Tom Homan and Kristi Noem. If you didn't see it, it's pretty funny. There was a SNL tried to do a mock of Kristi Noem and Attorney General Pam Bondi. Go watch it. It's pretty funny, because if you go on the DHS Twitter X, who calls it X? I mean, does anybody really call it X anymore? Like, I still call it Twitter. I still say tweet. In fact, I think when articles refer to it, like when people write articles, Variety and things like that, they say X, formerly known as Twitter, and then they still refer to the posts as tweets, which is just funny. I just don't understand why Elon doesn't go back. But, God bless Elon for actually buying Twitter and making it a free speech haven. But yeah, anyway, getting off topic. So that was pretty cool. Sorry, I got a notification. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. If you go to the DHS Twitter X, they did like a little parody of it, making fun. They flipped the burn on SNL. And it's hilarious because they just embraced it, and it actually served to be a pretty funny ad for ICE, for DHS that they're hiring. And they just used it as a tool to promote the hiring of more agents. Way to go. So go over there and check it out. I'll post, I posted one video that they put up, but I'll post the post that they posted once this live is over so you guys can see it. It was pretty funny. Today, if you didn't know, the Senate passed, if you're in the U.S., the Senate passed I don't know if it's a bill, a resolution, or what, but the Senate passed something that is going to honor this guy, Charlie Kirk. So if you don't know, today is National Remembrance of Charlie Kirk Day. This afternoon, at the White House, the president had Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, there, and a whole gala of people and press to give the posthumously awarded Presidential Medal of Honor, which is the highest citizen award that you can receive in the U.S., and it was given to Charlie Kirk. for the insane amount of work that he's done, the fantastic person that he was, and the message of, America first, unity, the family unit, and his faith, for being a true American, true patriot. And no matter what you think about him, no matter what your opinion is, because, it's TikTok, I'm sure a lot of people hate him. But no matter what you think of him, nobody deserves to go out the way that he did. And so I posted an update. The latest that I heard from Tyler, I'm not even going to say his name, the scumbag that took his life, that piece of human debris. The last we heard was that he had a mental health evaluation hearing thing that essentially was a determination to see whether he was fit to stand trial. Now, when the live is over, I will make another post of that to see if there's any updates about it. But I do know that he did do the screening, and as far as I'm aware, the defense is going to try to say that he was insane. But where we're at now in determining, as far as the case goes, there hasn't really been any updates. I know he's still wearing a turtle suit. He's still on I'm not going to say the word, but he's still on unalive watch, and because the live might get shut down. He's still on unalive watch, and we'll see if what happens. There hasn't really been any news, but I will try to find out and make a post about it. But that's usually what happens, by the way. Same thing happened to Epstein and a lot of people that go to jail. They basically get put in this turtle suit that prevents them from unaliving themselves. So yeah, so that was just one thing I wanted to touch on. We haven't really heard anything about it, so I'll try to find and see if there is any, see if there is any info about it. So, like I said, if you haven't been to these lives, it's just a couple topics that I discuss. Some of the lives I'll stick to one topic. This one we're just going over some of the various stuff that happened this week. Nothing special. The rest of the week, I've got each show planned. I try to do them at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Again, like I said in the beginning, somebody reported my page, so I was blocked from going live for a while. But I'm back to being able to go live. So the rest of this week, we're going to have all planned topics each day. And then what I think I'll do is Friday, the last show, because I'm going to do Tuesday through Friday. The last show on Friday, I'll do just kind of like a weekly recap and do multiple topics. But the rest of this week is going to be singular topics per live. So I guess the second to last thing I wanted to talk about was this. It's funny that I was just talking about, the Israel-Hamas or Gaza situation. There's this thing with, I don't know if you guys know, streamer, his name is Hassan Piker. Crazy terrorist sympathizer, leftist, ridiculous person. They're calling it Dogtober, which is a reference to Hassan shocking his dog live on a YouTube stream. So if you don't know, I guess he's a streamer, streams for multiple hours a day. He's probably the biggest leftist streamer that there is. And basically, during one of his live streams, first of all, his dog Kaya, he uses her as a prop. Okay, he puts her in the background, and if she moves, from her little bed, if she moves like a foot, he screams at her. If she gets up and walks around, he screams at her. If she comes over, walks over, and it's like, "Hey, Dad, I just want to see you," or like, "Go get a freaking drink of water," he screams at her. Well, apparently, I'll see if I can. It's a little bit past the date, but I'll see if I can post a recap of it. So that'll give me 3 posts that I post after this. But I try to do 3 posts a day. But basically, on a live, like at the 2-hour mark, first of all, he's like streaming for like 4 hours. The poor dog has to sit in the same spot. It's like a 2x5 bed that this dog has to sit in. Can't get up, otherwise it gets screamed at. Well, it got up for like a second and was trying to walk around, stretch its legs, and everyone is saying that he shocked the dog with a shock collar. And the dog yelped and then went and laid back down. And he's like, why are you being such a baby? After he just shocked the dog. Now, the internet is pretty fantastic at being detectives, and found out that on his rebuttal to this, let me fix my glasses, on his rebuttal to this, repudiation of the fact that he shocked his dog live on stream, tried to say that, here's the shock collar, here it is. This is the model that I use. It's only a vibrating collar. It doesn't actually shock the dog. Well, like I said, the internet, being the fantastic detectives that they are, brightened up the image, and you can actually see that he put a piece of black tape over the contacts of the shock collar, so that the public couldn't see the actual contacts of the shock collar, and tried to claim that this was not the shock collar that shocks the animal, but was the one that just vibrates, which is total bullshit. Because if you just look, it's tape covering the contacts. And so now, he's in a bit of hot water. He's got some podcasts that are canceling his appearances, saying, we can't have this person on. Aside from the fact that this dude is literally a terrorist sympathizer who has called, quote, for the red capitalist blood to flow in the streets, I think is what he said. Something like that. You need to gut them and slice them, dice them, and let their red capitalist blood flow in the streets. I mean, just some sick stuff, man. And this person, like I said, the biggest leftist streamer there is just basically getting canceled now over this. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not about animal abuse, especially on a platform like Twitch, which has not censored him, not censored him, but like taken his fucking page down, because this dude has constantly, multiple times, has given terrorists, sympathy, which is just disgusting. This person is an American citizen, I think. Maybe he's got dual citizenship. I'm not sure, but he's a clown. He acts like he's a socialist communist, when in reality the dude's a multimillionaire. It's just ridiculous. So that was one of the other things I wanted to talk about. And then the final topic, this will just be a quick live. The final topic, which is getting a lot of attention, is you've got Steve Bannon going around making the rounds on television, talking about Trump is going to run again in 2028. Now, I brought out the pocket constitution here because I wanted to read. It's funny that Bill Maher had him on, and they were talking about, how can Trump run again in 2028? How can he run for a third term? President can't run for a third term. So I'm just going to read to you from the Constitution. It is, I believe, Article 7. Let me see. No, I'm sorry. It's Amendment. I think it's Amendment 22. 25. Let's see here. 20. Yep, here it is. Okay, so. Oh, I hate this fucking green screen thing. Right here. Let's read it. Amendment 22, yes. So Amendment 22, 22nd Amendment, was ratified on February 27th, 1951. And I believe this comes after FDR, just after World War II. If my history serves me correct, FDR was basically had gotten sick health-wise. It was essentially dying, but had essentially gotten into a third term, and his wife was basically running the country at that point. And so this amendment was ratified to prevent a president from running consecutive third term, fourth term, basically running infinitum. We don't want a king, right? So they need to be limited in their scope of term length. So, but here's where it gets very interesting, because this is what Steve Bannon was arguing. Now, he hasn't given away what they're going to pursue, but he has said that they are going to pursue this in the courts. And the biggest thing that he brought up was like every single day there's tons and tons and tons of litigation, right? Constantly in the courts. So they actually may, this sounds crazy, but they may actually have a shot at pulling this off. This is the biggest Hail Mary that they're ever going to do, which is nuts. So we'll see if they can actually pull it off. But let me just read the 22nd Amendment. Again, ratified on February 27th, 1951. Okay. Section 1. No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than once. But this article shall not apply to any person holding the office of president when this article was proposed by the Congress, and shall not prevent any person who may be holding the office of president or acting as president during the term within which this article becomes operative from holding the office of president or acting as president during the remainder of such term. Okay? Then there's section 2. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the people joining. Section 2. The article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states within 7 years from the date of its submission to the states by the Congress. Okay, so basically it just means that you can't hold office for more than 2 years, right? Well, what Bannon is going to argue, and like I said, he hasn't said what they're going to be doing, but he's kind of alluded to it, right? And one of the things that he alluded to was, what is a term limit, right? Because it's kind of vague. We usually say, well, a term limit is 4 years, right? But that has not been clearly defined in the Constitution. In the amendment, it does not say 4 years here. It says for more than 2 years of a term. But the term is not descriptive enough. So that, I believe that's what they're going to argue. They're going to argue that a term could be 4 years, or a term could be 8 years, segmented. A term could be 15 years. A term could, who knows what the argument's going to be. But they're going to try some fancy legalese to try to get Trump on the ballot in 2028. Now, whatever you think of Trump right now, if this presidency continues to be a success, he is absolutely the dominant force in the Republican Party. If his name is on the ballot in 2028, he will win, right? There is nobody else on the Democrat side, on the independent side, that is going to stop the force that is Donald Trump. So if he runs again, if he's on the ballot, he will most likely win, which is crazy. So if Bannon can pull off this Hail Mary, then there's a good chance that we may get him for a third term. Now, whether or not he actually serves that third term, we'll see. I'm really not sure how you get around this. You really got to do some fancy talking and point to historical analogs where something like this has potentially happened. So we'll see. But I brought it up, and I wanted to read the Constitution because I wanted to kind of give you a basis of what they're trying to do, and we'll see what Bannon does. He said within the next couple weeks, within the next month or so, with the midterms kind of heating up and only a year away, they're going to be coming out and talking about it. So we'll see. They probably got a solid game plan. Nobody thought he was going to be president in 2016. Nobody thought that he was going to be president in 2020. The election was scammed and was rigged, essentially. I mean, even if you say that it wasn't rigged, like, legally, it was rigged in the sense that people were collecting ballots from old persons' homes, changing the who they were voting for on these old person ballots. They were busing people in by the truckload, by the busload. They were ballot harvesting, going around and collecting ballots. So whatever you want to say about the legal stuff, they were using extremely shady tactics in 2020. So 2024, it was just too big to rig, right? That was the whole motto. That was the whole saying. So overwhelmingly, the American people voted for Donald Trump to be 47th president. And there's a possibility that if they can get around this 22nd Amendment speak language, it's possible that he may be the 48th president as well. We'll see. Although I think he would still technically be the 47th, even if he was to just serve a third term. But those are all the topics I wanted to cover for this week. For this past week, since I've been in TikTok jail and I haven't been able to go live. Check my page for some posts. I will, after the live post, make a couple posts about some of the topics that I just discussed. And yeah, today is, like I said, Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day. Like I said, no matter what you think about him, if you've got some preconceived notions, go look up some of the stuff that he said. Don't just look up clips. Like, take the time to invest. Like turn your brain off for a minute and just turn the hatred off for a minute and just take some time to actually listen to what he said. Listen to his points of views. If you don't have to agree with him, right? But we're all human. Just give him just a chance to potentially change your mind, because maybe some of the things that you think are true are not, right? Maybe you could have your mind swayed. Who knows? There's always that possibility. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next live. Tomorrow, probably going to be at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to try to go live then. And I've got a great topic for tomorrow I think you guys are going to like a lot. And I'll break up clips of this live and post that. And don't forget, you can, I just hit, and by the way, I just got to say this, thank you so much. I just hit 100 follows on TikTok. So please go to my link in the bio, link tree. Go to all my socials. Follow me there. Let's get me to 100K. I'm going to keep posting daily videos, daily content, going live Tuesday through Friday. Tune in. I appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll just keep this going as long as I can. Thanks, guys.